A new deal allows foreigners to leave the Gaza Strip while around 1 million Palestinians still trapped inside are told to move south.
Conflict in the Middle East prompts protest marches in Europe by groups demonstrating support for both Israel and Palestine in many major cities.
Pamphlets rained over Gaza on Saturday. The pieces of paper dropped by the Israeli military issued a dire warning to around 1 million people. Head south and evacuate as soldiers gather at the Israel-Gaza border. For those heading south, the Israeli Defense Forces says they have opened 2 safe routes out of the north. The European Union reacted with concern over the evacuation order.
About this warning of 1 million people leaving Gaza the north of Gaza in 24 hours, I said, and I am saying that representing the official position of the European Union, is that is utterly impossible to implement.
Hamas, by contrast, is urging people to stay in their homes. Meanwhile, a senior US official has announced that Israel and Egypt have given the green light for foreigners to leave Gaza through the Rafah crossing.
There's been a marked increase in tension and violence on Israel's northern border with Lebanon. Israel fired shells over the border into Lebanon after its own positions came under fire. The Israeli army also says it's killed several people trying to sneak into the country. It blames the Lebanese government for every attack launched from its territory into Israel.
לצה"ל יש עוצמה גדולה מאוד בצפון. מי שיגיע לגדר, לחדור לשטח ישראל, ימות. כל אירוע הוא באחריות המלאה של מדינת לבנון והיא תישא בתוצאות.
Caught in the crossfire while filming Friday's border clash as Reuters journalist Issam Abdallah was buried on Saturday at a funeral attended by journalists and Lebanese lawmakers. 6 other journalists were injured when a shell reportedly fired from Israel landed among them. Israel described his death as tragic. Conflict in the Middle East prompted street demonstrations across Europe. In Frankfurt, a march to support Israel, calling for Hamas to be removed from Gaza. The city authorities had banned a pro-Palestinian protest. In the North Rhine-Westphalian city of Dusseldorf, about 700 people did show their support for Palestinians. The march was largely peaceful, with participants wrapped in flags and calling for a free Palestine. Sentiments that were echoed in Barcelona, where the Palestinian tricolour flag was carried by both Spaniards and immigrants from Arab countries and the Palestinian territories. The march started in the Raval neighbourhood, home to a large Arab community. Thousands of people rallied in central London for a pro-Palestinian protest following police warnings that anyone showing support for the militant group Hamas could face arrest. France is living under emergency attack, the highest level of alert in the country, allowing an exceptional mobilization of resources within a limited time frame. 7,000 soldiers are being deployed all over mainland France until further notice. The Louvre Museum and the Palace of Versailles were evacuated on Saturday. The authorities felt that the safety of the buildings had been compromised. The threat is yet to be confirmed. In Arras, people laid flowers outside the school where a teacher was killed in an Islamist attack. Also on high alert, Cyprus continues to receive hundreds of people leaving Israel by boat or military aircraft. More than 2,000 people are reportedly expected to arrive on the island this Sunday. Several European countries have asked Nicosia for logistical support for their nationals' brief stay in the country before returning home. Australians are refusing to give Aboriginal people a direct vote in the legislative and executive branches of government on issues that affect them. In a referendum on Saturday, they rejected a proposal to amend the 1901 Constitution to create a special Aboriginal Advisory Council. With more than 75% of the votes counted, the no vote had won 60%. The Indigenous recognition proposal was an election promise made by current Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. He said it had been a difficult night,